Okay, we're all here. Call the meeting to order of the Wareham Finance Committee. Today is Wednesday, July 13th at 6:30 in the Wareham Town Hall. May I ask the clerk to call the roll, please?
Far right, Jody Smith, Norma Scoggin, Tom Worthen, Chair Bernie Pigeon, myself, Jerry Stefanski, and Matt Rose.
Thank you. The first item on the issue of the Finance Committee matters are transfers that are required for fiscal 2022. Have you all had an opportunity to read your mail?
Yes.
Okay, we have first one is for, they've got a form out now, municipal relief. I'm not sure how much we're gonna relieve them of, but it's for municipal maintenance, transfer to municipal maintenance from workman's comp. The amount is $15,000. Hazardous waste cleanup on January 22nd of 2022. We've estimated the cost out to the end of the fiscal year, and a transfer is being requested from the workman's comp account to cover the remaining year. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion, any comments? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. 6-0. The next one, account name is FICA, and I'm not going to read all the numbers. Alan did it last night.
Yes, he did. It was aggravating.
Amount requested to transfer is $10,000. The remaining balance in the account is $63,850.62. There are weeks to be still posted to VADAR for FY22, and we've estimated the cost out to the end of the fiscal year. A transfer is being requested from the workman's comp account to cover the remaining year. This is from all the new employees the school has hired. May I have
Motion to approve.
may I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? That last sentence is interesting. There was a complaint from Alan that there were new names showing up on the warrant that they were signing at the end of their meetings. And he wanted to know just where all these names were coming from. And during the course of the year, they apparently were hiring over at school. And it's not unusual, they do this all the time. But that's my comment. Any others? If there being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved 6-0. Okay, just some general information. You have a copy of the note I sent to Jeff Switt as chairman of the Minor Building Committee. I took the accounting that they had provided us, or had gotten from Judy downstairs, the accountant, and sorted it and found there were some $660,000 plus that were spent in various places, sporting goods, et cetera, other than PMA, which is our project manager company, and Mount Vernon, which was the architect. Excluding those two, there is $660,000 since the first of the fiscal year that the building committee has not seen or approved of. And so I'm interested from Jeff, and I asked him, he has not responded yet, but I asked him to explain the process in which those expenditures were approved. Typically, if it's contractual from PMA or Mount Vernon, 3 people must approve, which is Jeff, the chairman, superintendent of schools, and Dave Menard in maintenance. Those 3 signatures have to go on the invoice to pay the contract, which is fine. And the committee approved that so that we all wouldn't have to be meeting every time an invoice came up. But as I said, that amount of money, it's significant. It's borrowed money, which means, and it's been speculated, and I won't say that, I have no evidence to say it is the fact. Let's say we buy a soccer ball, we're gonna pay for 20 years, because it's all borrowed money. However, that's pure speculation on my part. There's no indication that that is what it has been purchased. But indicating by this, I've asked for the detail and for the process in which they were approved. Also, Jody, you brought up last week or last meeting that you couldn't locate the transfers that they made reference to when they would sign their warrant. And I sent him a letter to Kevin Brojoli, I believe is his pronunciation, the chairman. And he's spoken with Matt, which is I believe is our Matt in IT, and Kristen, which is their business manager. And they agree that going forward, all documents will be shared in their entirety on our website. Jamie Wickstrom will give us the link to our excuse me, I apologize. Jamie will give you the link to our August 4th meeting so that you can find all the documentation more easily. Documents should be available 5 days in advance of each meeting. That would be new. Apparently, they're going to post their packet, as they call it.
They do. They post their packet now, but there's stuff left out.
Jody, where did you go looking for that transfer stuff?
In the
within
packet.
The packet?
Yep.
Right, okay. So
That would be the obvious place they would be. I mean,
That's the monthly approval, they give it their meeting.
Yeah, when they bring up stuff at a school committee meeting, most of the stuff is in the packet. Transfers don't seem to make it in. And that's fine moving forward, but I still would like to see from these past two meetings they've had transfers. I know when a member was here and he said, oh, they were on the website, and I know I wasn't the only one to look for them, because I thought, well, there's people a lot smarter on computers than I am, but they weren't there. They just, and I'd like to see especially where they're coming out of. Where is the extra money coming out of? And I understand the workman's comp on this side. I'd like to see the school side. So I still want to see the last two meetings that they did transfers.
If, Jim, if they show you the numbers, their numbers, and I believe ours, I'm not sure what Judy downstairs has, there's 23 digits in their numbers. As you subdivide each of those sections, it tells you specifically where it comes from, because they operate under business units in general, so that they have one minute, or they have Wareham Elementary, middle,
Right,
special ed.
I know on this one, we got all the numbers and stuff, but the transfers we did 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever the heck that was.
Yeah.
I mean, they specifically said what account they were coming out of. You know, the numbers were there, but it said workman's comp, and it was going into different items, and it just said, you know, I don't wanna sit there breaking down numbers, I wanna see that it's coming out of A going into B. You know, that shouldn't be that big of a deal, they have that stuff right in front of them, I don't wanna have to go searching through their whole budget.
Well, you don't. What you can do is you can do a sort of the 23 digits, because I do that. I'll sort the whole 12 pages, and it breaks down specifics, so that you have, let's say, all of the heating, irrespective of what location it comes from. It starts at, it has one number, and as it gets out, it goes to the business units. But anyway, that's what it is. We've received some minutes today from Kelly.
Oh, can we just, while we're talking
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
budget stuff, yeah, no, I just something, this goes back probably last spring sometime, that you had requested the MSBA report as to why they felt the Deacon School needed to be replaced. We never got that. I've never seen that. You know what I'm talking about? We had requested that.
No, remind me now, because there's a couple issues regarding the Degas and MSBA.
Yeah, because of the large school they allowed them to build them,
Yeah.
there had to be some background information as to why they thought that it was a good move to go into one school. So why did they
Oh, to
think
merge them all?
the Deacon School, yes, we can replace the Deacon School, that wasn't really their first choice, let me put it that way. So, I mean, they must have had some backup material saying, well, the Deacon School has this shortfall or that shortfall. I'd just like to know what they based their
So it's,
opinion on.
so you're looking for defects that would have.
Well, they had to have a reason why. It
affected
might have
them.
been a simple math thing that they thought
Yeah.
budget-wise, it was a smart thing to do, but I'd like to just know why they thought, and we requested that. I don't know if anybody recalls that request.
I remember talking about it. I just don't know if we had made a
So I am
formal.
not losing my marbles, but,
No, no, I remember we
but no,
talked
it's
about
one of
it,
those-
we made a formal request for that.
but yeah, I usually leave notes on my computer, you know, and I'm looking at them and I'm saying, okay, when, you know, the task, I use Outlook for everything, you know, and I'm saying, okay, that's still sitting there out there.
I'll have to go through my notes. Being on the committee itself, the committee would have had to been principal in that, and so I'll see, it's almost the same age as mine it was, but that's the obvious one. I'm sure there were many other things to substantiate, asking MSB to approve that.
I mean, I just don't know if they saw a lot of defects in the school. I'm not really sure what they saw or didn't see. Okay.
Was your request predicated on the fact that the Degas group wants to save the school? Because that's a good basis for that, of course. Was one issue.
Well, it's
we
part
didn't
of it.
know Why?
He's
Yeah.
looking for where the chinks in the armor are.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring this back in my mind.
Yeah. And that's probably, at the time, it's probably the big thing, is that they, you know, they want to repurpose the school. Well, did the state see something in the school that sent up a red flag? And they may not have. It may have just been a financial thing. I don't
Yeah, because
know.
that cost us around $700,000-800,000 to do that, because we'd put a new roof and a boiler in Degas with MSBA money.
Right.
And with MSBA, the contract is the warranty on the item that you install has to match the other one, so that if the old one lasted 50 years, the expectation is that the new one will last also 50 years. And it less than that, if you replace it, as we did closing the Degas, they want their money back. We didn't actually give them their money back. What they did is
Took it
that they're
off.
going to reimburse us. The amount was X number of dollars less, $750. So,
I'm just thinking, the more information you have in front of you when decisions, I'm assuming now after the meeting last
Yeah.
night, next October.
but I'm thinking, and, you know, as I go through my head, it's, there's a few gaps up there, but that would be a practical reason to go before the Degas committee and say, why did we empty out that school, cost us that much money, and you think it's valid for another, repurposing it?
Yeah, I mean,
You know, that sounds like a government thing. It's not that they took money from us, it's just that they didn't give it to us.
correct.
That's
Why is that
government,
so
government
government?
speak. Yeah?
Government double talk.
Yeah. I've received minutes from Kelly, and Norma, you're not on any of them, so they're,
Actually, I am.
The last one?
Well, two of them. I was.
She's on March
I was
23rd.
not on the last, I was not present for the last meeting. I was on the committee
Okay.
by then. But, yeah.
it's up to you if you want to, motion to accept them as printed, or we can go on to the next one. Obviously, you've had minimal time to read through them, so it's your choice.
So, I read all three, okay. The second one, the April 30th, Kelly left a blank for Diane Kenny's last name. So, in my
You say
opinion.
March 30th, April 30th?
March 3rd.
March,
March, okay.
March 30th, the middle one.
Yep.
I looked at them all, they're accurate as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
If it pleased the court here, I would just say that we add Diane's last name. to the
K-E-N-
Kenn, is it E-Y? And to the blank for the last name, and everything looks good.
And I would add that there are several references to deferring to town meeting, where I think it should have been referred to town meeting. So it was both ways when we went through the long list of warrants.
I think we speak here both ways.
Okay.
Both tongues
In
here.
that,
Yeah.
in that case,
Speak
I
with-
withdraw my objection.
Okay,
Yeah, she left it blank in several paragraphs.
Yeah.
now the blank that is it consistent that it's Ms. Kenny?
I think so,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. It was regarding the conversation.
Okay. And I'll have to sign these, and I can turn them in tomorrow if I happen to bring by. Okay, if I have a,
So I'll make a motion that we approve with the corrections of the minutes of March 23rd, 2022, March 30th, 2022, and I'll leave the last one, that's the one Norma wasn't here, and she can abstain from that one. So my motion is for those two sets of minutes.
those two sets.
Yeah, with
Okay.
What
corrections.
about April 6th?
Well, Norma wasn't here, just to keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it separate. Do I have a second?
I second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion on the corrections? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay, now I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes of April 6th, 2022.
I'll second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion, any corrections, modifications? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Abstain.
And
501.
501.
thank you. Just as an off, I'm a director with the Association of Town Finance Committees, and we're a ancillary group for the MMA, and they put out an alert to indicate, and I think we've been discussing it, a mandate on an article before the House and another one before the Senate to do the same thing, is to require all of our meetings be Zoomed or hybrid in nature, so that people have a choice of sitting at home or coming and joining us. That's, they're both discussing it now. It'd be an extraordinary burden on all cities and towns, because it would have to significantly expand their ITs for the coverage of these. Currently, WCTV manages this room and the one over in the multi-service center, the Selectmen's Room, for transmission. The other meetings, which are Zoomed, are handled by Matt, and he's all by himself. So as you noted in the package I sent out, there was a reply from my query to Matt asking them what the burden would be, and he indicated 12 to 15-hour days are not
He gave you the
unusual for
finger.
him. Yeah. All by his lonesome over there. Now, well, he's got one other person and the one they hold captive over in the police department. But that's coming down, they're talking about it. I presume there will be, in some way, something to come down, but I think it, as it's currently worded, it's a horrible burden for us. I don't know where or how they think we're gonna pay for it, or cities and towns in general. But I don't think they are overly concerned about it. It's an unfunded liability, it's referred to. It's very much like they did with the police reform. They wiped out our summer season, which we survive on, because we can't provide security for many of the events. And they're sitting on, well, if they give us $250 each, it's gonna cost them $500 million, as they heard on reports. That leaves them with roughly around 3.5 billion extra
The surplus.
surplus.
We could figure out something to do with that money.
I'm sure they have a lot of ideas, none of which benefits us. And we also received a copy of the budget and the actual, May 31st, and the enterprise, as well as the general fund. No questions? Good, good, good. We also have, I'd like to reorganize next month after the appointing committee has appointed the candidates to fill in the vacancies. Obviously, they don't know us, but I think they have a right to be here as part of the group to make a choice as to who you want as chairman.
Oh, I agree, I think they should be here.
Yeah. And as we go down, I would suggest, if you would like, go through each one of you and ask which one, how you would recommend, 1, 2, and 3, or who you might not want to. If you, Jody, would you care to, is Julie, Tom, or Jim?
Well, as you know, I always have an opinion about everything.
Don't hesitate to share it with us.
Well, sitting there that night, and it's interesting how I've evolved some over time. I want to say the young lady, I can't remember her name.
Julie.
You know, in my past life, I had real problems with attorneys. And I
It's
know
not our fault.
No. Well, I was involved, when you're involved in youth sports in the way I was, it was always a problem, and I always had a bad taste, but recently, I think the town's done a wonderful job. I think Norma does a fantastic job here, and I think the new town moderator, does a great job.
Margaret,
Margaret, yeah, I think so I've kind of warmed up a little bit as far as attorneys are concerned, so I thought she presented herself very well. I'm the last guy that should say this. Sometimes attorneys think they get paid by the word. And, just keep it short and sweet, which I don't always do. I know that. My wife tells me when I get home, and she probably will tonight.
Oh, excuse me, we're not live.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Oh, in that case, then. So, Jim's sitting here. I mean, Jim is the only one I've kind of know personally that I've met in the past and stuff. He brings a lot to the table. He's, very knowledgeable with the town, has a lot to offer to the town, his experience, and there's something to be said for experience. Tom, he brings another perspective to the town as a businessman. And there's something to be said about, businessmen and finances. So, I thought the first one was, but Tom and Jim, and I've gone back and forth with the two of them. I think either one would be a good pick. I'm not the one that has to
Oh, we
make
have
that
2
decision.
vacancies.
Right, but I think the first one, Joanne? Julie, excuse me. Glad this isn't live, so I think she presented herself well. I think sometimes attorneys do bring a different perspective to the table, I'll put it that way.
Think differently.
Sometimes, you're right, and I think you've been a valuable asset to this board. That's just my opinion. I don't know how anybody thinks so. Good luck making the decision.
Did he say something about paid by the word?
He did say that.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said I'm the last person that should ever say anything about that.
You can
My
do it.
wife won't go a lot of places with me because she says, you don't know when to leave.
Tom, can you do a 1, 2, and 3?
I'd be for
You,
Julie.
excuse me, were you here during the interviews?
No, but I know Julie,
Yes, you do.
and,
Oh, you know Julie
yeah.
personally? Or do you?
Yeah. Well, she lives on the same street. I know her. So the last, but I also know her background. She's been, what is she, on the state? Some state board for real estate lawyers or something like that.
Her background seems to be in real
Yeah.
estate.
Yeah, well, and she's been running a company.
She and her
but now
husband,
she's-
yeah.
But now she has retired somewhat, I guess. But she's on the ball. And she's a different perspective, and her first comment to me is, we ought to be able to get more grant money than we're getting right now. The library needs this, and this, so she's not,
Mhm.
she's been involved, has opinions, comes from Concord, which is certainly a good town from a management point of view. If that's what you're looking for, that's
Yes,
the one I would recommend.
and we have two positions, would you recommend?
Why, my question is, why not have three? Why don't we add another person? Why don't we have a,
Those are three candidates.
yep,
We only have
Two
two
slots.
two spots.
yeah, but I'm serious, why don't we have 3 slots? Why don't we just add another slot, have an extra man?
Because charter says, oh, you can only have 9.
Really?
Yes,
Says you can only have,
yes,
but you must have,
yes. Maximum is 9.
but you must have 9.
Well, we can run short, but we
Okay, we
can't
can't run
run
over, okay. So let me have, I didn't meet the other 2.
Okay. Tom's not here.
When I was in the room.
Tom, I'm one of the candidates. I think you know who I am.
I know who you are, Jim.
For better or for worse,
Matt.
right?
Matt, how about you?
I did get a chance to watch, thanks to WCTV, I was able to actually watch everything. Thankfully, I thought Julie definitely gave a really great presentation. She's definitely on the top of the list. She'll be a great addition. Now, Tom and Jim, it's a tough call. I think either one will be a great choice. I really can't put a number to that.
Okay. Jerry, you want to?
Okay, first, Joyce, Jim, I've watched him 2 years on a planning board, being a pain in the ass there, and 3 years as a selectman, so you got 5 years, good. Second is the attorney, Julie, because I never see 2 attorneys arguing, and I would think that would be a great show.
Who says we'll argue?
We like to call it a nice debate.
Okay, the spoken ones, obviously Julie. And the other one for the, those who've emailed me, it's Tom. And any objections?
I gotta say, did you get a chance to,
I did, I watched the entire.
you didn't ask
tape.
Norma
I
her
sent-
opinion?
I- but I-
Oh, it's at the
I
email.
did
I'd be
that.
curious.
Yeah, the ones I've called on here, the
Oh, I'm
ones who
sorry.
haven't
Okay,
indicated
I'm curious
already
what
to me.
Norma's opinion of the
Yeah,
whole process was.
I thought Julie was clearly a keeper. I thought she has some really excellent background.
Yeah.
I think would be very beneficial for us.
Yeah.
and you were definitely a Jody, Tom. Jody,
Yeah, that's what you said, yeah. I definitely Julie, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so too, I thought she.
okay, I'll notify the appointing committee that we're prepared to recommend candidates.
You guys are still meeting though to take official votes, is that
Right.
correct?
Yeah, don't you guys make the final choice, the appointing committee?
Yes,
Yeah, good.
there's the moderator, chairman of the Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
and the chairman of the particular committee they're being appointed to, and there's only 3 of the appointing committee. Ours, planning, and there's a third one.
So it's Margaret, Jara,
Judith,
Capital planning? Is that the third one?
Margaret, Judith.
Yes, I think it is.
For this.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Okay, and we've taken care of the schools and what they're gonna do for us. And I think in August, when we do our org, we'll do the meet and greet with the new chairman and superintendent. Because Kim is gone the end of this month.
Do we have a date for the August meeting yet?
Which would be good for anybody away, particularly in August?
I am. We're heading up to Saco, Maine for a week, to the Saco
Men
River
from
for a week.
Maine.
Nice to have a-
Gone from the 10th to the 17th in August. 3rd, 24th, 31st.
So maybe the 24th?
10th through 17th. Anybody else absent in August?
I'm just planning around whatever we decide.
So it looks like the 31st?
24th or 31st?
Why don't we do the 24th? That go okay for everybody? The exciting life we all lead. And let's see if there's anything else.
You had that invoice, half invoice you sent out? Or
Beg your pardon?
did
You
do
want to vote on
something?
that? You can.
Well,
I just signed off on it.
Well, I didn't know if you were planning on trying to bring this up tonight or not on the on the 48-hour business.
We can do that, make a motion.
Well, no, I'm not ready to make a motion because, I mean, I see the hours here, but there's no money.
Oh, it's $25 an hour. She didn't put money in?
No.
That's the standard. That's what we always paid her.
Well, I just,
Yeah.
okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the number of hours at $25 per hour.
How many hours she's got there?
10.
10 hours? You make a part of the motion, we're all set.
I did the number out, yeah, 10
Yeah, but
hours.
you didn't reference the 10 hours.
Okay, 10 hours.
Yes, thank you.
Second.
May I have a second? A second? Any discussion? She has tonight and 2 other meetings she hasn't done as yet. And Jody, you've done a couple meetings, but you know how to,
So I can get
What do we-
$25 an
What do we
hour?
owe you? How long did it take?
she's been doing this for the finance committee 20-plus years.
She does a great job.
You know, as a matter, she has one, when we do the review of all the department heads, and they come in for a full day. She says, I already have a template right out for that. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I'll sign that and turn it in tomorrow also if I have an opportunity. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Thank you.